Do we have a pre-show?
A little bit of one. This is kind of an offhand thing, but have you seen these products that look a lot like DJI products, but are not branded DJI? Does this sound familiar to you?
No.
There's a company. There's a couple of companies like this. There's one called
Muse.
Extra, which is XTRA, and then there's also Skyrover. And Extra seems to make like handheld cameras. Skyrover seems to make drones. And it is just incredible how similar these products are to DJI products. Like, I don't know why DJI hasn't sued them yet.
Insta360 could tell you all about that.
They've been out for a while, and they kind of came on the scene. Let's say like in the past year or two, like
Sure.
kind of around when DJI started having problems selling their products.
That
in the
makes
US.
sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And somehow like these brands have just kind of like coexisted, and like DJI hasn't really been that upset about
It's
it.
not a problem.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's been a lot of speculation about all that. And I saw recently that the FCC decided to fine all those companies, and they're giving them like not much time, like actually the day before this episode releases, July 20th, to give them more information to, so they could decide whether they want to take further action. So it basically looks like the FCC is cracking down on these like other companies.
Why are they fining them?
I think that, I don't know exactly what justification they've used, but basically I think what it is that they're accusing them of being DJI shell companies to sell those products in the US and get around the ban. Mm-hmm.
Do you think
Shocking.
Do you think that that's the case?
Shocking conclusion.
I was thinking the other day, similar to how Insta360 has this other company that's totally not their company, Anti-Gravity, to do the drone stuff in case things go sideways, we assume.
Yeah, which drones can move in any direction, so it is very possible that could go sideways.
Exactly, especially if you get the ring attachment.
Yeah.
It's not really attached. Why hasn't DJI created its own camera company, or a different camera company appears that is a sister company to DJI,
and
then that one sell cool things in the United States?
Well,
and it sounds like this is the answer.
Like that's kind of what they did try to do. So I don't know. It's an interesting turn of events there. So I guess we'll see what happens.
It's been quite a bit. Do I even have it on here? DJI sued Insta360, right? And then Insta360 countersued?
Yeah. But basically when the Luna came out, DJI sued them, something about something patents. And you have to imagine part of that was because DJI can't sell the Osmo Pocket 4 in the US, and Insta360 can sell theirs, and DJI probably doesn't like that. And then Insta360 countersued them, saying that they violated some patents. And so there's just all kinds of interesting business drama going on with these products. I don't know.
What's the saying? It's something like, if there's a door, you go through it, or if gap something.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You're making this up.
No. There's some sort of quote here. There's a quote from Senna that's, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver.
Oh, it's a racing thing. That's why I don't know about it.
Well, yeah, but I've heard like a similar quote about like doors or something. Slow write speed, recording stopped, replace the storage card or lower the recording quality?
Wow.
What kind of garbage card do you have in this thing, Daniel?
Not a very good one, but it's probably because it's getting more full.
I have not had that problem.
Well, you probably don't have like hours of footage on yours.
I do.
Do you?
I have a 128 gig card, and I have 1 hour and 13 minutes left to record time. You have 1 hour and 28 minutes left to record time.
It's a 256 card.
Holy cow, Daniel!
It's just for testing, but
yeah, but like, you've recorded 128 gigs of footage.
I guess.
No. Well, this should equate to 64 gigs left. You've recorded more than 120 gigs of footage. Dear Lord, Daniel. Anyways.
We're getting off topic here.
Do you think that Insta360 takes the same approach to their camera market.
I don't know what you're...
Where if they no longer go for the gap, they're no longer a camera company.
I don't know what you're going to have to...
I'm saying DJI can't sell, gimbal cameras in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who can?
Insta360,
That's right.
Apparently.
That's right, Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what point
you go for the gap.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's obviously it's what they did.
I'm just saying, like, DJI is going to sue you. Like, it's just going to happen. You make a copy version, a very similar product to this product DJI's already made.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sue you.
Yeah, of course.
Does that mean you don't make the product?
No,
it doesn't.
The whole thing's really interesting. I mean, the DJI ban has kind of been, it started out as kind of like a rumor, and then it became more real, and it got to a point where it was like, but seriously, like DJI is not going to be able to sell like their products. And then now it seems like it's actually happened because like you straight up can't buy something like an Osmo Pocket 4 in the US.
They won't even talk to you about it.
And yeah, you can't find it on their website, anything. And I mean, that did always feel like it was going to be an opportunity for other companies, like both with the cameras as well as the drones, because DJI has been so dominant in that, like in all those market spaces. And then suddenly now they can't sell in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been wondering, like, when we'd start seeing more competitors pop up. And I still don't feel like in the drone space there's been that much. It's funny because, like, people were saying, like, Skyrover, but, like, Skyrover drones literally are reskinned DJI drones. And Anti-Gravity is probably one of the first companies I've seen that's, like, really released, like, a new high-profile drone that's not associated with DJI. And I'm not surprised to see stuff like the Insta360 Luna because, I mean, clearly it's like there's an opening in the market for them to capitalize on. You would expect to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of have mixed feelings. It's, as a consumer, I want to be able to choose from all the products. And I don't really see a problem with DJI's cameras. I don't see how that's like any sort of security concern for the US. And so, I don't really understand it from that perspective. And I'd like to have that as an option. But on the other hand, it's, like it's also kind of nice for us, though, that there's now this opening in the market where other companies can come in and try and innovate and compete. So I don't know. It's like we kind of win, we kind of lose. It's just it's an interesting turn of events.
We need enough competition to rise up, and then DJI can come back.
Mm-hmm.
We just need an alternate drone vendor to appear.
I would like that, honestly. And there have been some in the past, like Autel was one that had some drones, but there's just never been anything that quite could compete with DJI. And I'd really like to see more people, more companies in that space. Because, I mean, DJI stuff's great, but competition benefits all of us. So, hopefully we'll see some more in that area.
It's a crazy world out there.
It really is. But here we are. And it just means that we have more cameras to talk about.
Speaking of, show.
Welcome back to the Camera Gear Podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Lucas.
And we're here today to talk about the gear, software, and techniques we use to shoot photos and video.
So I'm recording with both Luna Ultras at the same time. One's pointing you, one's pointing me, and they're both face tracking.
Mm-hmm.
And yours has already failed once.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked.
I have 4 or more hours of video recorded onto that card. So I think it's not a very good card.
Daniel, I thought that I was really stretching the legs of this bad boy. And you're over here with like 4 hours of record time.
Well, I did long run tests, and so I had it recording for. I wasn't doing anything interesting with it, but I just have like a couple of recordings that are an hour and a half long each.
That's weird. I was only doing interesting things with it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we'll see how long this goes. I mean, just recording. Mine wasn't full battery when we started, and it looks like I'm down to 50%, and you're still at like 90-something%.
Yep. Yeah,
it doesn't list the percentages. I'm just looking at the little clock dial in the top right corner.
Yep.
It doesn't give you a separate one for the screen. Did you notice when you long record, the screens turn off?
I did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a nice feature.
It is.
Sort of. That's sometimes a nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need a continuous monitor.
Maybe. Maybe.
No one thought about that, did they? Did they? Do we want to, do we want to like set the stage at all here?
Yeah, go for it. Why don't you set the stage for us?
All right, Daniel. Stage setting. Insta360 has come out with a competitor to the Osmo Pocket, which is just the Pocket 4. They came out with a Luna Ultra, but they also came out with a Luna, but that's not out yet.
There has been no Luna announced. The name of the product is the Luna Ultra.
There's only the Luna Ultra.
Yes,
there is no
which
Luna.
Does make you wonder, like, why does it have Ultra in the name? So will there be a future one? Nobody knows.
It's very confusing. Anyway, we had been in conversations with Insta360 because they're going to come out with this thing, and we're like, hey, like give us info on the camera, so we can talk about it on the pod. And they're like, it's coming.
Remember, they had it at NAB behind frosted glass in their deal, and then like the same day they had like given it to some creators,
And then you saw it show up on B&H.
Yep.
And you were like,
and it was like a week before what everybody had thought the release date was going to be.
Yep. You of course bought one immediately.
I see a new camera show up a week before it's supposed to. I'm like, I just want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
And then they shipped it.
And it shipped. And it came, and then Insta360 sent us one to look at. And yours that you bought from B&H came before the one that they sent out. Which is just wild. And so we've found ourselves in the situation where we have two Luna Ultras. So maximum camera testing.
Yes.
Which has been like the last, I don't know what, we got them on the 4th, I think, or the 3rd,
around, maybe
something
like
that. So it's been
sooner
like
than that. Yeah,
2 weeks or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
it came out officially on June 10th, right? So this has been out for maybe a month, but we've had maybe 2 weeks with it. It's released at what, $770 US.
Yep.
And as previously mentioned, this is just a straight competitor to the Osmo Pocket 4.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting camera space of like, that we've had action cameras for a long time with things like the GoPro. Insta360 kind of started branching out from that a little bit with things like the little Go series, like the Go 3 and stuff, where they had like the smaller, like pill-shaped cameras. Insta360 also has like the 360 cams. So like, we kind of started with GoPro, and then the categories kind of expanded outward from there. And then I think DJI was probably the first one to do the gimbal camera version with the Osmo Pocket. And they've done a couple versions of that now. And I don't know, it's kind of like a new take on action cameras, where instead of having like a little, like durable little box that you would put on like your motorcycle helmet, you have this little stick that has a gimbal on the end. And,
right, it's like, what if we took the drone thing and took the camera gimbal system off the drone and stuck it on a stick?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's, new is maybe questionable. These things have been out for like 5 years.
Yeah. I would say like newer than a GoPro. And I would say we don't often see new camera form factors. And I feel like it is on the newer side of that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
When the first Osmos came out, I was like, this is the dumbest thing in the entire world. And you're like, no, Lucas, this is super cool. And then like last fall, somebody gave me an Osmo Pocket 2. I was like, shoot, this is a lot of fun, actually. Dang it. And now we have these Lunas.
Yep. And, the category's definitely grown up since the first Osmos came out. The Luna is much bigger than the Osmo.
Oh, yeah.
But it has some interesting capabilities. So I was interested in it, for having like a good video travel camera, but I think it's also just like an interesting category of cameras, and I really wanted to test one. So that's why I bought one.
Yeah.
And it's great that we've kind of both had the chance to test it out.
It's questionable from its pocketability standpoint.
Yeah.
You can trim it down a bit, but I don't even know where to start, Daniel. I have taken a giant list of things, categorized it, and it is in no particular order. So
wow,
probably
pure chaos.
This is just very much Lucas Energy brain dump situation. So do you have any opening remarks before we just dive all the way in?
Oh gosh, that's hard to say. I think I do want to say what I was hoping it would be, and then maybe we can, revisit later of what it ended up being. I was really hoping for was something that, is video first. I would say video only. Like, I had no intention of ever taking a photo with this camera, but I really wanted something for travel where I could have a little camera to carry around that like isn't quite as obtrusive in public places. The same that like carrying like your, big like mirrorless camera with a lens, people are like, that person has a camera. Like maybe something that people don't immediately like pick up on as being a camera. And like the gimbal was interesting to me because I figured, like I could get like cool like walking shots or like a vlog style thing or whatever. But like I want the quality to be good. Like I don't want to feel like my phone takes so much better video than this thing's. Like I want it to be like good enough that I want to use it. And so that's kind of what I was hoping to get out of it. What interested you about it?
About this is that I liked the Pocket 2 for like small camera that provides a different form factor than your phone, that can do more stable footage in a different way than your phone. So I was excited about this one to see kind of like, okay, with better lenses, better sensor technology, what's possible here.
Yeah.
And
it's like, what is a modern, like maybe, more high end take on that same thing?
And my high level takeaway was like, boy, this gives you so many capabilities in one little tiny package where if you wanted to take any of the things that this camera does and you're like, okay, I just want a better version of that. Anything that produces a better version of that is like 4 times the cost.
Yeah. And, and probably 4 times the size.
I want to put a camera on a gimbal that can track me. Okay. Well, buckle up.
Yeah. You're going to need a mirrorless camera, a gimbal, like it's like a whole thing.
And like this thing has, it's got the handful of lenses on it and we'll talk about all that, but the image quality is like pretty good. Yeah. It's like pretty good. And man, if I wanted better image quality, it's not even like go to your phone. Like the thing that shoots better images than, like the iPhone. It's like you have to go to a, APS-C or full frame mirrorless camera in order to get a better image quality. And like I said, that's $2,000, right? It's like double the cost.
Yeah.
It's just, you get so much out of this one little thing. It's like, boy, you buy one of these, it could support an entire like YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah, easily.
And it would be perfect.
Yeah, which is interesting to say, I think, because I think a lot of times cameras like this end up feeling more like toys in the sense of like, oh, like sure you can get the stable footage, like the quality's just not going to be that good, like it's not really going to be any better than anything else you could use, or like, yeah, I can track, but like kind of, and it does feel like they've done a pretty good job of like making all these features good enough that it's actually usable for a lot of that stuff.
It's this like crazy 1-2 where they came out with the Mic Pros.
Which is a wireless lav, kind of like the DJI mic, and the Rode Wireless Pro, that kind of product.
And a big part of those is that it's like, it's okay, this is in the shot because it has a little screen on it. And you can put like your channel logo or something on the little microphone and use that. And then they come out with the Luna Ultra, and it's like, if you have those 2 things, you usually do a channel.
Yeah.
I mean, you need lights if you want it to look good. But even still, it's like audio covered. It can do like tracking, and you can like do a lot of solo film making type or video making type stuff that you couldn't do with just like a camera or without another person. It's just really, really interesting. For $1,000, you can kind of get yourself this setup that was basically impossible. A handful of years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see how far all that's come.
It's just really, really interesting. I know that you haven't like messed with this lanyard. I was talking to you about this the other day.
Yep.
Because you have these like little orange balls that are on strings, and then it magnetizes in.
Ooh.
And then you lock it.
So it's like a Peak Design type situation, but it's magnetic. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Sorry. We'll talk about this. We should talk about the accessory right now, Daniel. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Accessories is a whole other category.
Yes.
So, few things. Let's start with time lapse. So one of the features on this camera is you can just shoot time lapse. It doesn't move during time lapse.
It feels like one of the like if you've got a camera on a gimbal, I feel like that's the number one thing you want to be able to do with a time lapse.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to see how good it is. The time lapse is good. Like you can set the duration. You can choose, how many photos. Like, do you want to take infinite photos? Do you want to take a number of photos? What's the interval? Like how many seconds? It like we'll put it all together. It does a great job with the time lapse. But I was like shocked that I couldn't set like a start and finish point for the time lapse because I'm pretty sure the DJI one can do that.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want. Like you want to have like a cool shot that like pans across the horizon as it's doing a time lapse.
Yeah, and like maybe that's like a firmware thing. Yeah. Maybe that's an update later on.
I can see that. Yeah,
that's definitely something they could add in software. So the time lapse is good, but I was a little surprised that motion was missing because for something like this, it's like the whole reason you might want to do one.
Now, do they differentiate between time lapse and hyperlapse? Because I think hyperlapse is typically where you'd have like the camera's moving, like you're walking with the camera.
Yes,
something.
they do distinguish those two functions.
Okay, that's cool.
I didn't really mess too much with the hyperlapse thing, but maybe I should.
That'd be fun to play with.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hyperlapse anything?
No.
You can do I think 4K or 1080. For the time lapse, I don't think you can do the full 8K, which was interesting.
Yeah,
but otherwise, like it seemed simple, like a basic feature.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's something they spend as much time on.
Yeah, and like there's so much here that fine. It's like we check the box. It does slow motion.
Yes,
it will do 240 and 1080p. And the 240 requires the main sensor. So there's
the 1X.
Yeah. So like we haven't like, boy, this is all so much out of order. We'll get to the camera lenses in a moment. But there's two cameras on this thing. One is a 1-inch sensor. One is a 1/1.3-inch sensor. And that main sensor has few more capabilities. One of which is it can shoot 240 frames per second video, and it's the only one that can do it. So you basically have to shoot with the main sensor in 1080 if you want. 240 frames per second.
But you can also do 4K 120, right?
You can do 4K 120.
You do that on either sensor?
You can do 4K 120 on either sensor up to
3X?
Up to 3X.
Okay.
6X. Which we'll talk about that in a second. And you can do 4K 120 with sound.
Oh, wow.
And so I shot a video of me like walking up to my dog and like getting him to chase me, and I ran, and it was just fun. But I shot that in 4K 120, and the stabilization was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was really good.
Perfectly flowed. I'm like running at like 60% speed, and it's just. I mean,
there's no jumping in the footage at all.
I wasn't even trying, Dan.
Yeah,
I wasn't even trying to hold it steady. It was just so freaking good, and it's 120, and so like it has all the sound built in. You can do slow fast where you do shoot in 120, it plays back immediately in whatever 24 or 30, or you can do it in like, full 120 smooth motion. That's great.
Yeah.
That's like super good.
Yeah.
So
really cool feature.
That's most of the slow motion stuff. Obviously you can do, not obviously, but obviously you can do 60, 30.
Yeah.
It can shoot 8K, but 8K is limited to 30.
Okay. And you can shoot in 24 too, right?
Yeah, you can shoot in 24. I've shot a lot in 24.
I'm sure you have.
I just now change it to 30 so that it matched yours for this video that I'm shooting, which we are at 18 minutes on this one. And we are at 21 minutes on this other one, and it's still tracking.
Pretty good.
Still got battery.
Yep. So you kind of hinted at some of the sensor stuff, but like maybe we should talk about like how what's the camera setup on this thing.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that. Yeah. So 2 cameras, 2 sensors, 1 head. The head is in a horizontal position, and they're not like square. They seem like they're whatever. Probably 3x2 or something, some standard format. This camera feels very much like it is intended to be in a horizontal position, horizontally shooting. It has the little rotating screen on it, and so like you flip the screen out like a sidekick to make it turn on, or you can hold the power button and have it turn on. And you can have it set up so that when you flip back to a vertical position, it'll shoot vertically. It doesn't rotate the camera head to shoot vertically.
Yeah.
It just does a crop onto the sensor. And so it limits your resolution. If you're shooting in 4K and you go shoot vertical, it'll go to 3K.
Yeah. Doesn't that seem weird to you, like with the way video is now, with how much video is vertical video on Instagram and stuff? Don't you find it interesting that for this camera, which I think is very much like a vlog, travel, lifestyle video camera, that they kind of deprioritize vertical to an extent?
I think for something like this, a square sensor would have been like the most perfect thing.
Yeah.
You can go gangster style and hold it horizontal and it will, and so such that the sensor is up and down, and that's true vertical or true vertical video mode, and then you can do full resolution.
Yeah.
Or you can do like the crop thing. And so it's like you have the options there to use, but it is very obvious that this thing is built for horizontal video first, which tells me like they want, it's got like log and all the things. It has time code support. They want this to be a pro video tool.
Yeah, that's what I think is interesting about it. Like they're trying to like punch above the travel camera market.
Yes. But honestly, like those features are what make this thing really, really useful.
Agreed.
I would say for nearly everything that we will typically shoot, other than that like potential project we have in September, I'm bringing this along.
Yeah.
I'm shooting B-roll. I'm
doing
shooting
a music video or something. I could see using something like this. Because it has some of those pro features, and I feel like that kind of all comes back to, you know, like as silly as it sounds, the way they design the like the sensor and stuff to be shot landscape just kind of shows you like what their philosophy was making this, which I think is not what people would expect when they first see the camera.
No, not necessarily. You think it's just like, oh yeah, it's just a fun travel camera or something, right?
Like this is for Instagram, you know, and like not really.
I mean, it could be, but also could be other things.
Yeah.
So that's the deal with like vertical or whatever. But so for your main sensor and the zoom situation, it's just like so much to talk about here. They're on like the controller, you have a little zoom rocker thing where you can like push it, click it up to like jump between the zoom ranges, or you can hold it to do like a push zoom.
Yeah.
That was the thing I was the most pumped about when I got this. Was like, I'm going to like
zooms.
dad cam this thing so hard. I'm just going to crash zoom everything. Just crash zoom left and right. It's wild. Until I figured out that you could just like click it up and it would jump to the next camera. So the main sensor, 1-inch sensor, has a resolution of 8K. It seems like it may be quad bare. That's like no one's said that. It's not in the specs, but it's probably quad bare.
Okay.
I can't even find like the resolution on this thing. It's not listed anywhere as far as like the specifications and all that stuff. I just assume that based upon the modes that this can do, it seems like it's a quad bare.
Yeah.
50-ish megapixel probably sensor, give or take, maybe a little less, because you can shoot 8K. But then you can shoot 4K, which seems like bare the pixels, unbare the pixels, or whatever.
It does seem like that.
Bin it or don't bin it.
Yeah.
But then also you get, and the iPhone's been doing this for years, you get a pixel for pixel mode, which is 2x.
Yeah.
So the main sensor is 20 millimeters full frame equivalent, or you can shoot it at 40 millimeter full frame equivalent with no quality loss. So you're getting like a bend, and then you're getting a pixel for pixel.
Right.
And so it's like, it's a punch zoom. You're essentially like punching in on the sensor, right? So it's like, you're not losing resolution, but then it doesn't seem like you're using too much dynamic range, but it's like a crop mode. And then you can go to the telephoto, which is, both of these are 1.8, f1.8 for the main, f2 for the telephoto.
Okay.
Fixed, right?
And the telephoto is a slightly smaller sensor.
Slightly smaller sensor, 1/1.3. And that one is 60 millimeters.
So that's when you go to 3x?
That's 3x,
okay.
Right? 20, 40, 60. That's 60 millimeters. And then similar situation, quad bare, whatever, you can shoot in a crop mode to 120 millimeter. So pixel for pixel, no quality loss. You can go to 120. So it's kind of like, here's 4 focal ranges that are all either like some sort of pixel for pixel mode, no real quality loss if you're shooting in 4K. If you're shooting in 8K, like this is all off the table because it's going to upscale to 4K in order to like do a thing. It can shoot 4K to 40, which is, I guess, a 1080 upscale on the telephoto camera? ?
So yeah, because I mean, I know that on the screen it goes up to 12x.
Right,
so
12x. Did I say 12K? 12x.
That's what 20 millimeter to 240 is. That's 12x zoom.
Right. So,
and that, yeah, I mean, whatever sensor they're using, that has to be doing some kind of upscaling.
Yeah, there's no way that you're cropping in enough in order to get it. So it's like you are getting 2040 off of one, 60 120 off the other.
Yeah.
And then they give you this bonus 12x.
The 12x
zoom.
is like a digital zoom, basically.
Yeah, it's doing some sort of like crop plus upscale in order to get to 4K. It's really obvious.
Yeah.
Like the footage at 12x, it's not very good, Daniel.
Yeah. When I've shot with it, I've tried to not go past 6.
I've shot a few things at 12, which is like kind of, if it's just for fun, it's fine. But if your goal is maximum image quality, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't. I mean, I'm going to keep doing it because heck yeah.
It's fun to have the ability.
Look, crashing from 20 to 240.
Pretty fun.
Pretty good time.
Pretty fun.
Pretty good time. You just keep zooming in. You just keep going. You can see it jump. When you go from 2.9 to 3, the image will shift minorly.
Interesting.
The image quality as far as color reproduction. Oh, here we go. I've got an error. Remote battery low.
Yep.
I'm going to have to mount this puppy back on.
Yep. Saw that happen before.
1 second. Okay. There we go. What were we talking about? Right. It moves. So, but the like the color fidelity, the shadows, like the look doesn't really seem to massively change.
Like they've made the image processing pipeline similar enough between the two sensors that you can't really tell.
Yeah, that would have been horrible. Could you imagine if it's they were the same shade of red or something?
Yeah, that'd be rough.
No, very like perfectly matched. So it's just all super smooth. If you weren't looking for it, you probably wouldn't even notice. But yeah, it's all good stuff.
I love having the second lens on there. You know, it does make it bigger because you have that Osmo Pocket 2 and that only has a single camera. This is obviously a much bigger camera system.
Yep.
But I know in a lot of the stuff I was filming, you know, it's like I took this to an event and filmed at the event. I feel like I shot almost everything at 6x because, you know, I want to get like close up to the action, and it's really cool to have that, you know, available to you without having to do like extreme digital zoom.
It gives you the ability to do some fun stuff that I can't do on the Pocket 2, like some parallax movement. That's really fun.
Especially if you lock on with like tracking or something. Yeah. You know, it makes it really easy to do stuff like that.
Which like we're probably going to talk about, I don't know if we'll talk about the tracking dedicated or just kind of throughout. The tracking is really, really good.
Yeah.
There's some weirdness that I found here and there, but yeah, it's like if I know my subject, I can put it on, like if I do like it's 3x or 6x and I lock on and then I just do my movement, you can get some really cool like background, foreground shifting.
Yeah, mostly zoomed in, like you said. Like,
yeah, you have to be zoomed in order to get that. Really, you need to be at like 120 in order for that to have a legit effect. And it's not going to be as pronounced as if you actually shot on 120 millimeters, because you're not like going from 60 to 120, your compression doesn't change.
Yeah.
Going from 20 to 40, your compression doesn't change because you're not optically changing that focal length. It is just a digital zoom, but it is still pixel for pixel. So.
Yeah.
What else do I have here? Yeah. Let's see. It can jump between the two lenses. No. You can't shoot 8K and 12X, but that's obvious.
Yeah, the sensor not enough sensor space for that. Can you not shoot 24 frames per second on the smaller sensor?
Yeah, telephoto can't shoot 20. I think I wrote down the wrong thing there. Okay. Yeah, you can shoot 24 frames per second.
Yeah, that would have been a really weird limitation.
Yeah, so I think that's everything that's worth talking about on the sensors and the capabilities.
Maybe like did you do any shooting in low light? Because I think that's like one of the big questions on cameras like this is, you know, you've got like, cool, it's f1.8, but it's a 1-inch sensor, which is still pretty small. And I mean, that's always been a shortcoming of any of these like little devices.
Yeah, so I did do some low light shooting. It has this pure video mode that is doing something with low light exposure to make it better. I don't know why they called it pure video versus something else.
And then along with that, they have that mode, but then also if you shoot in the regular video mode in low light, you'll get a message on the screen saying something about how it's doing something different to like optimize it. Yeah. And I kind of wasn't sure whether that's the same as pure video or whether it's not, you know, like, is it telling me that it's going into pure video mode? I don't think so. So
the pop-up messages, I wish you could turn it off. Yeah. Like if I had a feature request, it's like, cool, thanks for showing me this so I understand it, but please never show this to me again.
I was looking for that in the menus. I was like, there's got to be a way to like say like don't show me those anymore, and it seems like not. So maybe they'll add that.
It's like, great, nice. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. This is in my way, and I'm trying to like make a change, but oh boy, get those out of here. I think that the pure video mode is doing something different than the other one.
I think you're right.
I do think that in normal mode, when you're shooting in low light, it's doing some of like the noise suppression stuff that makes the image mushy.
Yes, and that's what I saw. Like, especially if I punched in, you know, if I went to 6x and shot in low light, you do not want to pixel peep that.
But there is a distinct improvement in pure video comparatively that helps cut down on that. Ooh. Stop recording, camera stop due to high temperature.
Yep.
Daniel, what is wrong with your Luna?
No, it's when you have it in it's when you have the remote detached. It heats up a lot more when you're using the remote.
Oh my gosh, yours is so hot. No, I think yours is just broken. It's because you got it from B&H. No, because like I've been recording for 34 minutes continuously. We had to stop yours, and then restart it because of the connection issue. I'm still going 34. Did you set it to the high temperature thing?
Probably not.
That's probably why.
You have the remote attached though.
Oh, I just attached it less than 5 minutes ago. Just less than 5 minutes ago, Daniel. You just wait. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep on trucking.
Well, I'm sure it will now that you put the remote back on.
Oh, hush. Here we go. Get this thing going again. I don't really need to. I probably should just play with it instead. Anyway, what were we talking about?
The low light.
Right. It's better in pure video. I think that it just allows maybe a little more noise.
What's your overall impression of it? Do you feel like it's usable in low light?
100%. Yeah. I wouldn't
like tell me, kind of give us an idea of like how dark of a situation would you feel comfortable using it?
If the sun was down and I had normal lamps on in a space where I was trying to illuminate it kind of like in an ambient standpoint.
Like a living room at
night,
like
at my house, living room at night. Not your house with living room at night, because you just leave all the lights off all the time. It's just wildly dark. But, like in my house at night, I may have like overhead lights, like a few can lights in the room next to the living room. And then maybe I have like a few lamps on that are like full brightness, but they're hue lights, so they're only putting out like 800 lumens across 6 lamps, maybe. Like that much light.
Okay. So you would use it in that situation.
Yeah, I would say that on my Fuji, I would be shooting, if I was shooting on f1.4, I would be at like 1/125 at ISO 6400. And that would be a well-exposed image. I wouldn't shoot if I was shooting at f2 like these cameras, I'd be at like 1/60, and I'd probably be like ISO 6400 to 8000 if I was trying to match the f2 on an APS-C camera to get like a similar exposure. Anything low, darker than that, it just turns into complete mush. That's probably kind of like the limit. And even then, I wouldn't necessarily want to use that for like something I was giving to a client.
So you would, but I mean, even just for like a travel type situation, would you use this like outdoors at night?
Sure.
Yeah.
I did some outdoor night stuff. Like it's fine. Like it's definitely usable. It's not the best thing in the world, but there's no situation where I was using this or I thought to use it, or I would have like thought to use my phone, for instance, that I wouldn't. Like if I was on vacation and it was night, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm going to take this out and shoot with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Hopefully that answers that question. I have no idea.
No, I think so. I used it some to shoot like an event in the dark, and I felt like it did pretty good. Like I said, you can't pixel peep it.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is like very, very dark, room. Like we struggle with mirrorless cameras to shoot in there too.
Yeah.
And it did surprisingly well, especially like wider shots, like with the bigger sensor. I was pretty happy with it. I would say it would not replace using like a full frame mirrorless camera with like a, f1.8 prime. Like I'm not saying it's that good, but it was decent.
Decent. Battery. It's 1550 milliamp hours. Supposedly you can charge this thing to 80% in 23 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
I took it to the beach and I shot with it for like a whole day of just like hanging out, just kind of clips here, clips there. I don't know how much stuff I shot. Lasted all day. You said you can get about 4 hours of video on it.
Yeah, I think they say the battery lasts 4 hours. To me, the battery is really impressive.
The battery's good.
I feel like it's more than what you get on something like a GoPro, and I mean it easily lasts long enough to where I wouldn't be worried about bringing a charger with me if I was just like going out for a day.
I've been shooting for 38 minutes I started at 50% battery, and looking at this little circle, I'm at about 25% battery now. Still going.
Yeah.
And also mine hasn't overheated.
They also sell a battery like attachment thing. So like you have the body of this thing and it has a USB-C port in the bottom. They have accessories that kind of like clip into the bottom of it. And if you buy the basic kit, you get kind of like a little block that fits in the bottom that has like a pass-through USB-C port and like a little, like a tiny little fold-out tripod and a 1/4-20 jack on it. But they sell a different thing that you can clip on the bottom that's just like an expanded battery, basically.
I felt like the default one with the little tripod legs, I wanted to leave off all the time because it makes it smaller. Like I didn't want it to be longer. But then whenever I try to use it without the little extra thing, my pinky hangs off.
Yeah.
And I'm sad about it.
That's why I like the little one that it comes with because it makes it easier to hold.
The little one that it comes with it gives you the little kickstand and it makes it easier to hold. And it just makes it like 5 times better using it, even though it's less pocketable. And I find myself continuously choosing to leave the stupid little leg piece on, even though in my heart I want to take it off.
One thing I discovered about the battery too is you can use this while you're charging it. When I was recording with that, like I was recording myself doing face tracking and stuff, when I plugged it in, the battery was not going up, but it wasn't going down either. Like it kind of felt like you could just record indefinitely.
Oh, interesting. Indefinitely.
Because it wasn't heating up much either.
Whenever you had it plugged in?
Yeah.
But you think it would just heat up?
Yeah, I wonder if it like wasn't using the battery, like if it just passes the power straight into the camera or something. I'm not sure.
These things are not infallible when it comes to heat dissipation.
Yeah.
You can definitely get them to overheat in certain situations, but I wouldn't say that's generally been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it can happen if you're like, it's going to be worse if you're holding it for sure. You know, if you have your hand around it, like it can't dissipate the heat as well. Yeah. Obviously, if you're using it like outside, you know, a really hot day. I also have noticed that when you have the remote detached, it heats up a lot more, probably because of like the wireless communication.
That makes sense.
So, you know, there's a couple of things there, and like they can overheat, but in normal shooting, especially if you're not touching it, like it doesn't really get that warm.
It's pretty good. It comes with 47 gigs of internal storage, which sounds like 64 minus the operating system.
Yeah, probably so.
And then you can put up to 1 terabyte of micro SD storage in it. And if you put the good kind, it doesn't have problems.
I love that stuff has built-in storage now.
It's nice for sure.
You know, that way if you forget your card, you're not totally stuck without being able to record anything.
Yeah. I mean, I would be okay if camera companies like wait to keep doing built-in storage because of the cost of storage these days.
That's true.
But, you know,
that's true.
One day when it's free again. Let's talk about audio, Daniel.
Okay.
What do you think of the onboard mic quality? Is there more than one mic? There's 2 mics on it, right? There has to be because there's a microphone on the screen. And whenever you detach the screen, which we haven't even talked about, Daniel, you can just like pop the controls off. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's the coolest thing in the entire world.
We'll get to that in a moment.
But when you pop the controls off, it says, do you want to switch to using the screen as the microphone? Which you totally can. And it's super cool. But then there's also a microphone still on the camera. So it definitely has 2 mics.
Yep. That comes with a windscreen kind of thing on the main mic by default. I thought the quality was good. It's fine. I mean, it wasn't like standout or anything, but like it seemed like a perfectly good mic.
I was impressed. I found that most of the audio that I recorded on it was like good enough. It didn't seem like, oh, this is just like junky onboard audio. Yeah. It was just totally fine.
It is 24-bit. It's not a 32-bit float. But yeah, it seemed like a good mic. And then I think you said earlier you can pair, I think, either the Insta360 Mic Air or the Insta360 Mic Pro. You can pair up to 2 of them, I think, to a single Luna.
It supports 2 pairs. It also supports Bluetooth microphones.
Oh, cool.
I tried to pair my AirPods to it, and I couldn't get it to take. But that may have been an AirPod problem.
Sure.
So I haven't tried it with the DJI Mic 1, 2. Whichever one I have.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work.
I assume that it would work because it's Bluetooth. Your audio quality is going to be very limited if you pair via Bluetooth.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to use a wireless mic with this, you kind of have to go brand for brand because they all use their proprietary whatever stuff.
True.
And so if you want good quality that you don't have to sync and post, you kind of got to get the Insta360 mic situation. if you're going to record on the microphone itself, then just sync it later. Maybe that's fine.
Sure. One cool thing with the Mic Pro is that you can actually trigger the video recording on the Luna by pressing the power button on the Mic Pro.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Feature. Also, it pairs very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You can be like actively recording and turn on the mic and it'll connect.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At least I think you can.
I like that integration. Like, it's neat that you can do that.
They work so well together. And the little case that it comes with that will like encapsulate the camera has a spot where you can clip the microphone on it, and you can like use the Insta360 mic as like a little microphone.
That's cool.
It's very fun. I was annoying people with that.
I believe that.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Did you test the range on that at all?
No, I didn't.
I did like maybe 40 feet or so with a lot of movement and going between trees and like no drop issues. So
very cool.
Not surprised. It kind of holds out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you can talk about the wireless monitor.
Yeah. This is like such a, you see it and it's like, this is Insta360 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Because they did that with the Go 3 where you could pop the little pill camera out of the case and then you had like the separate monitoring case. And we talked about that on this show when it came out and we thought it was really cool. And yeah, with this camera, you can basically pull a little latch and you can pop off the screen and all the controls from the camera. Like, this little tiny remote controller that you can take with you. And it's surprising how useful that is.
Their wireless monitor technology is just so good.
Mm-hmm. It takes a moment to connect, but once it connects, it's like it stays pretty solid.
I haven't had a single time where I took the thing off and it didn't connect.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and like I've never had it drop. I mean, I haven't been, really, really, really far away, and the image quality degrades.
Yeah, it's a little pixelated sometimes.
Yeah, which like it's wireless video, man. Yeah. Everyone just calm down.
Mm-hmm. You're not recording onto the screen. No. It's just a monitor.
It's really, really good.
Yeah,
and really reliable. I'm just blown away at how cool that feature is.
It's a really useful thing because you can set the camera up somewhere and then you can walk across the room and like frame the shot and turn on tracking and like start recording, do all the things without being right there.
And like use it as a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little weird because it's like I'm in horizontal mode and I walk away and I'm monitoring. I want to flip the screen into vertical mode, which you can, and it's totally fine. And if you're recording, it doesn't break anything or change anything. But I'm like, kind of like, don't touch the screen because I don't want to accidentally do something. I kind of wish I could easily like lock the screen.
Yeah.
Which I think actually maybe that's a button shortcut that you can set,
I don't know if it is or not.
But like, kind of being able to just use it as a microphone and like grip it was an interesting
I thought it was a really clever addition that they put a microphone on that and it switches. You can set in the settings whether it does that or not, but it switches to it. And so it's like, this makes perfect sense because the camera could be 30 feet away. I want to be talking and have it pick up. Like, of course I want a microphone in that thing.
There's a few different things where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to like hold it up and like do this shot. And this would be like, I'm like, this would be weird to, make this motion. Like, how do I check the framing? I'm like, oh yeah, I can just like freaking pop this thing off.
Yeah.
And I can like now hold the camera down, like, on the side of the beach cart and whatever. Get sand in the gimbal or something.
You're still able to monitor it.
Yeah. It's great. Cool. It's really cool.
So, or if you want to set up like an overhead shot or like you want, like if we wanted to use them to record the podcast, like you could pop the little remote off and use it like that.
It's just like another example of, okay, I want to set up my camera for my whatever video shoot thing, like YouTube channel or whatever, and now I need to find a way to remotely monitor it, and like I can't see the camera from all the way over there, and so like maybe I just need to run an HDMI cable or get a wireless monitor solution, and it's just like built in.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Ridiculous.
Very cool.
It's just so stinking cool. The screen itself is pretty good. It's like a little OLED screen. I don't know what the resolution is.
It's fine.
But it's fine.
I mean, it's perfectly usable for what it is. It's going to feel small to most people, compared to like a mirrorless camera. But you wouldn't want it to be much bigger because, the device is pretty small too. Yeah.
Like, it's good. It has a little zoom rocker, which is good. It's got a record button. It's got a joystick that you can move around. Then it has 2 shortcut buttons. The options for the shortcuts were really limited.
And it's different for each one.
Yeah, and you can't set them. You can only set them to like 2 or 3 options per, and they are different option sets.
Yeah.
So I have mine set to flip the camera for one of them, and then double tapping brings up the option for photo versus video. Because like, I guess, you know, you can swipe to change the video.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there was no other good option besides that.
Yeah, I don't know if you just said it, but yeah, like you can set a single or double tap for both buttons.
Yep. The one on the right, I have set to double tap for exposure and single tap for filters.
Ah, filters.
Yeah. Those are really fun. So I think that the interface of the monitor of like swiping and changing things is like fine. But I found that if I was wanting to quickly make changes, say like swipe over and change my filter or switch it to a manual exposure mode or adjust the EV, any of that stuff, switching between like basic and pro video modes. Oh boy, I felt like I was like missing at the tap every other time because like the touch target size.
Oh, you can only do so much small screen.
Yeah, you can only do so much on a small screen. But boy, I felt like I was still struggling a little bit with the interface.
Yeah, well, especially if you want to use manual exposure settings. If you want to set the ISO and stuff like that manually rather than automatic, I felt like that was kind of clunky in the sense that like the menus are kind of annoying to go into, and there's no like quick getting to those settings.
It was tedious, and if I wanted to set my shutter speed,
yeah, I was finding that when I was you know, because normally when I'm going around shooting at an event, I'm like riding the ISO the whole time. Like I'm deciding what I want that to be set to. And also like if I want to do like AF single, you know, where I want to like tap on the screen, like I'm wanting to kind of like mess with that stuff, and I can do it easily on a mirrorless camera. With this, it was kind of like, that was kind of clunky. Yeah.
Like it would be cool to have better exposure, like previews. Like there's no like whatever histograms or anything on this thing. You're kind of just going off the screen for the look. The exposure is close enough that it's mostly fine. But I could imagine like an even more pro version of this where you do the zooming in using the touchscreen and you remap the zoom rocker to like ISO and then give it like false color.
Well, I'd love to have a, you know, even with this existing hardware, if there was a software mode that was like pro video where instead of me having to drill down into menus to change all that stuff, like somehow give me access to that like from the main screen or something.
Make it like swipeable so it's not like you're trying to tap and then kind of scroll through settings.
Exactly.
Some of it was just a little cumbersome, which not really like how this is intended to be used, I guess, but also it flies a little bit in the face of all the pro video features.
They've added so much capability. It's like that's the one little missing thing, is that it's just like kind of hard in the moment to set all those settings.
Yeah, like there's some cool V2 stuff they could do. Like if you could, like it has this iLog thing and it supports ACES.
And so super cool.
Super cool. And their log profile is like decent. It's workable. And I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. But like, if you could load custom LUTs, and to do something to like help with exposure, a false color or whatever, or if it had like an exposure, you know, graph or something on it that you could use.
Right.
Anyway, overall though, like the monitor's really, really neat in concept.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was gonna be a gimmick, but it honestly does add a lot of value to it.
Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about the stabilization, because that's kind of like half the reasons why you might get this thing.
Yeah.
I know that like phone stabilizations got really good, and like iPhones have their action mode or whatever stuff. I still like when you take a hard step and it does the digital stabilization stuff,
like the little wobbling,
and like you can kind of like see the, oh boy, I just can't unsee that stuff. Like it just does, like just doesn't look good. Don't worry about this because it's got a gimbal.
Yeah.
Just all on gimbal.
I mean, the reason you're running video is so impressive though, is that the gimbal doesn't like soak up all of that.
No.
Because like, that's why the Ronin 4D has the extra like lever thing on
right.
it, you know?
Yeah. This doesn't cover the vertical motion. It's not 5-axis.
But even 4-axis, but even with that, even without having that, it still feels like it does a really good job. Yeah,
they're clearly doing something digital in there, but it's not artifacting in a strange way. And the stabilization is just like really, really good. It has a few different like modes. Like you can have it do roll and tilt lock, and then it has like 2 FPV modes where it kind of gives you like a more follow. I've mostly been shooting in roll lock. I was trying to do FPV for most of this stuff, but I found that I kept getting into situations when in FPV mode where I would kind of like tilt my hand one way or the other, going low and then coming back up. And the gimbal would get the gimbal either wouldn't come back level, or it would get into a weird state where it was like, I've gone past the bounds that I can move the gimbal and I don't know how to get back. And when I put it into roll lock, like I pretty much stopped having that issue unless I was trying to spin a full 360.
Yeah. You can max out the gimbal.
Yeah, you definitely can. And that's something that I had to make aware of. So I did that one of the long recordings I did, I was like moving a bunch of boxes and I had to think about, okay, where does the gimbal lock? What orientation should I set this in so that as I'm walking around the camera, I don't hit the limit?
Yeah, interesting.
So you kind of have to think about that a little bit as far as where that gimbal lock is and what the limits are as far as its movement. But once you get a feel for it, it's extremely capable, and the motion, whatever, like not smoothing, but just like the steadiness of the footage is really, really impressive.
Yeah. And that's one advantage of something like this over using a DJI gimbal or something with the mirrorless cameras. You don't have to balance it. You don't have to worry about like, is it going to, vibrate or whatever. Like obviously they've tuned it all really well, so you don't have to deal with those things.
It was one of the things I was wondering coming to this. Like obviously they've made action cameras, so they know how to make digital stabilization. But other than, even the anti-gravity stuff, like Insta360 hasn't made a gimbal camera.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So it's like impressive what they were able to do here with this kind of being their first foray into that type of product.
Agreed.
Like I wouldn't be concerned if you're like, I don't know if it's gonna be as good on gimbaling as the Osmo.
Yeah,
it's as good, if not better, than the Osmo Pocket 2.
And you can use the joystick obviously to like aim the gimbal and stuff, and it all works really well.
Double click the joystick to recenter. One of the things it does with the tracking, which I thought was really cool, is like you click the joystick in once and it will like select a subject to track. You can also kind of like drag to frame to pick a subject that's on the screen. That's been like, okay, kind of has to have an obvious subject.
But it doesn't have to be a person.
It doesn't have to be a person, but you can, once you select the subject, you can choose where it is in the frame. So it gives you like a grid of
like
nine squares. And you can say, up, top left, bottom right, center, off center. And you can choose like where it's centering the subject. Where you want it
to frame it. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to have that feature, and it's like really easy to kind of bounce that around. So
overall, like let's talk about the tracking. Because we're here. Like I think it's really impressive. It seems like it picks up on generally what you want it to. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be an animal. It can be an object. It seems like it picks up really well, and it holds really well.
It's very good. There's a certain speed that the gimbal can turn, and so you can outpace the gimbal if you're trying to like run around.
Yeah.
But if you're moving, if it's like tracking me and I pass behind a person, it's been generally good at me staying on me and not picking up the other person. You can move like behind columns and trees and whatever, and it holds focus or holds tracking.
And I did some shots where like I set it up on my desk facing me with the tracking on, let it record for a while, and then like I just got up and left the room. And when I came back, it picked me right back up. Which is like, that's really cool for, YouTube type stuff or whatever.
Yeah, that's all really good. It definitely stays locked on. I set it up and recorded like the cooktop when I was making dinner yesterday, and I'd like set it to track the pan. And it just like tracked the pan. I picked up, I could like do like a tossing motion. It just,
that's so cool.
It's totally stayed locked on. It had trouble with the spoon.
The spoon.
But still, it's very impressive.
Yeah, and it's a great camera if you're filming somebody who, if you want to have a subject in your video and y'all are like walking around or whatever, like we kind of did a thing where like we walked around, like a bunch of trees and stuff, and I told it to track you, and I just kind of didn't have to think about where I was pointing the camera.
Yeah.
I generally was like holding it up, but I wasn't really thinking much about it. And obviously, like, because it's tracking you and because it's a gimbal, it was like turning and all that to keep you in frame. And it's just really cool that you can do that and get like pretty nice looking footage without you having to spend all your energy focused on like keeping the person in frame.
That was something that I did as well. I made my wife wear a microphone and show me her garden. And I just like was just kind of like there holding the camera and paying attention to other things besides her talking.
Don't tell her that. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Oh no. But it's like, it's just almost like there. And the camera's just like doing the thing.
You know, you can be involved in the situation. Like you're not only focused on filming. Like you could be having a conversation. You know, you could be focused on whatever like y'all are doing, and you're still getting like good footage because it's doing the tracking.
It adds a very different dynamic where, like, say I was shooting an interview like that, like show me the thing and blah, blah, blah. I can like check the camera and make sure I'm like getting the whatever that they're talking about, but I can be looking at them and talking to them and trust that the camera's like doing the tracking.
Yeah.
It's that good that I would have that much confidence in it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really cool.
On the same kind of similar topic to the tracking, autofocus, it's like, it's a 1-inch sensor. So like once you're past, I don't know, 5 feet or so, everything's in focus. Right, you are getting a lots of depth of field, even with the 60mm lens. It's a little more, but not like tons and tons and tons of like low depth of field shots. Not what it's made for. But if something's close enough, you will get low depth of field, and it has to autofocus. It's autofocus if you're not tracking. If you're tracking, it's like dead on.
Yeah.
But if you're not tracking, I did have some kind of like, I don't know what to focus on if there wasn't a clear subject. And there's not really
using
like
the continuous autofocus, right?
Right. And there's not like a clean way to be like focus on this without turning it into a tracking subject.
You can use AFS.
That's true. Yeah.
But like it is a little finicky because the screen's so small. Like that's the main problem is that the screen's small enough that like, yeah, you can tap and tell it to focus there, but it's just like a little hard to tell what you're doing.
Yeah. So, but it's like it can track so many things that maybe you just put it on tracking anyway.
Yeah.
This wasn't a real problem. It was literally like maybe 2 instances where I'm like, oh shoot, it doesn't know what to focus on and just jumping between.
Yeah.
So the screen is small enough that that can happen to you and you not notice.
Yeah, for sure.
So something to just kind of be aware of, I guess. Anyway, let's talk about tracking. We've talked enough about overheating. I don't think we need to belabor that.
Agreed.
Have you messed with the Insta360 app at all?
Just a very brief amount. Almost none.
Almost none. So I messed with it. There's a lot of like cool like extras you can download. There's more like filters and stuff where you can like change the footage. What's nice about it is, and I haven't really used the Insta360 app before, and so you can copy your footage in and you can bring it in just like bare footage, or if you know that you're like, okay, I'm going to share this immediately and I know I don't need for like the full res footage. I just need like 1080p or whatever, and I'm going to just post this straight away. You can do all of your like edits or whatever on your phone from like a preview and then
like a proxy sort of,
and then download only the like converted version. So you can download like 1080 to your phone, or you can like pull the full video over and then do some edits in the app and then choose how to export it. Cool. So you can export it in like, and this is why I was running into those issues, is I had the export set to 120 instead of 30. But you can like, okay, here's my video. I did some speed ramping. I want to export it as 60 or full 4K. You can choose the megabit per second. Like it has a full, like fairly feature-rich encoding option, just like in the app. Those looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And they have a decent amount of editing stuff. So you can, like if you're shooting 360 photos or whatever, you can like do your thing there, but also you can like kind of cut, edit, speed ramp, put filters on, adjust, tweak your videos, and then export them, and by default watermark them until you figure out where to turn that setting off. And like,
that's annoying.
Share them. So if you're shooting just to share on social, I was surprised at how full featured the Insta360 app is for that.
Yeah, like I always just kind of write off apps like that, you know, like, oh, I probably just need to use like whatever video editing I'm used to using, but it's good that they have kind of some of that stuff in there.
I did find that it's a little weird on the iPad because like it works in full screen iPad mode, but some screens of the app are only built for iPhone.
Oh, weird.
And so like I'm using it, it'll just jump down to the iPhone size, and then I have to like get back to the other screen, like quit it, and it's a little goofy on the iPad.
That's weird.
So not
maybe
super
they can work on that.
Well supported, but whatever. You didn't shoot any photos with it?
No. I mean, we did the one 360 photo.
I did so many 360 photos. Like it doesn't have a real landscape mode where like I was kind of hoping that I could get like a pano landscape type thing, kind of like a left to right, big sweeping image. Honestly, what would be really cool is if you could have it like turn into its vertical state and then do a sweeping pan, so you could get like a tall resolution and a really big shot.
Yeah.
It does the 360 photos that are like freaking 200 megapixels, and it's like full 360. And I think
basically you start it and it takes like 9 photos or something.
Yeah, and like because they're stitching it together, and it's like you could just like frame out whatever you want for that big panorama and then export it like that. So there's not really a reason to have an alternate panorama mode, and unless you were just like wanted to take less photos to do the thing.
Yeah. What did you think of the photo quality?
It's good. Photo quality was decent. As good as what I would expect of a 1-inch sensor. Like if I had a 1-inch sensor point and shoot camera, it's like that good.
The 360 photos are pretty fun.
The 360 photos are awesome. I had so much fun shooting little 360 photos and like setting up the camera, like doing a thing, and then framing it in post. It was it was a total blast.
Yeah.
So missing out, Daniel.
I know. I need to get on that.
I didn't shoot any of these like 37 megapixel ultra photos, like 0 actual photos.
If I want to take an actual photo, I'm probably going to use one of my other cameras.
But I mean, you got this with you.
That's true.
It's got a big sensor.
That's true.
Big-ish sensor. You could shoot raw.
Yeah.
I didn't mess with any of the raw photos.
Yeah.
None of it.
Cool that you have the option though.
Yep. Let's I guess talk about some of the filters.
Sure.
So we have a black mist filter and some ND filters.
And these are like magnetic. They kind of like clip onto the front of the camera.
And I scooped up the black mist, and you haven't touched it.
Right.
And I just scooped that puppy up immediately, and I've been using it left and right. So, go ahead.
No, I didn't know.
The case that it comes with has a spot for the black mist filter and a spot for a wide angle lens.
I like that they have that. Yeah.
And they're just good. Like these magnet on. You take them off, they magnet into the case.
Oh, they magnet into the case
too.
Very cool.
It's perfect. It's a little tricky in trying to like take them off and put them on without fingerprinting the heck out of them.
Yeah.
But overall, like the filter use is very well thought out. It's very smooth.
So what do you think of the black mist?
I didn't mess at all with the ND, so I have no idea if those are good. The black mist is it needed? I would recommend the black mist. It softens the image just enough. It blooms highlights more than I would want. Like sometimes it's like I want it to soften the image without blooming the highlights.
Yeah.
And that's not really something you're going to get out of a black mist. I still kind of preferred the look of having it on most of the time, because the default, like if you're not shooting in log, like the default image off of this is a little sharp and a little digital. It just like a little too much.
I figured the black mist would help with that by just kind of smoothing out some of that.
It does. It does quite a bit. So I'm a big fan of the black mist.
Cool.
Did you try the NDs?
I did not try the NDs. It's great to have those available if you're doing something that, like maybe something for a client or whatever. But honestly, for like travel type stuff, I'd rather just crank the shutter.
It would have been too cumbersome to deal with the NDs, honestly. If I was doing, like client stuff, we really cared about the image quality. It's great to have those, but it kind of depends on what you're shooting. One of the things with the ND is always like you would do that to like lower your shutter speed.
Yeah.
And so one of the nice features in the app, there's just like a headline feature on the list of like edits that you can make to your videos, is you can add like frame interpolation to apply digital motion smoothing to the video.
Interesting.
If you accidentally shoot with an ND filter at like 180 degree shutter, if you just like do that by accident, you just didn't mean to, and you really, really need motion smoothing, you can just apply it in the app.
Interesting.
Yay.
Maybe people would want that if they want to like slow it down or something, but
maybe. We should talk about image quality though. You can shoot in 10-bit log.
And they have like a quote unquote high bit rate option.
I set it to high bit rate and I didn't change it.
Yep.
That's basically 120 megabits per second, I think.
Which is pretty good.
And then you can make it smaller on export or even import into your phone. The image quality, in my opinion, was very good.
Yeah. Especially like in good light.
It was just, especially in good light. I was extremely impressed. It's just like really good.
Yeah.
Just really good.
When we were shooting some of that stuff outside when it was kind of like around sunset, I mean, the quality looked great.
Look, it's the Blackmagic Pixis 12K is better.
Yes. Yes, it is.
This didn't make everything like look like a movie.
Yeah, nothing matches that Pix's quality.
But I could intermix this with footage from my Fuji camera, and it would be fine.
That's a crazy thing to say about a camera like this.
I think that it's better than my iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Also a little surprising.
It's just really good. Mm-hmm. It's really good. It is.
They did good about not making it too overprocessed looking.
Yeah.
I think is part of it.
One of the things that bugged me that I noticed was if you're shooting a subject and you have a really bright background. Mm-hmm. So they are doing some like HDR processing with like the sky, the sky mostly, where they want the sky to be blue and be not overexposed.
Are you like messing with something?
Yeah, I'm messing with this thing in my hand.
Can you not do that?
Yeah. I'll throw it on the ground, Daniel.
Good. Yeah. I was like, what is that noise?
It's me clicking the case open and close.
Yeah. Why don't we not do that? I think our listeners don't want to hear that.
Daniel.
Okay.
Look,
continue.
If you're like shooting a subject and the sky's behind them, there is a little bit of like haloing around the subject, which is just like annoying.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Is it just like HDR processing? You think that's what's causing that?
Mm-hmm. They're doing some like high dynamic range HDRing-ish, it seems, just as a part of that process pipeline, which kind of like gives it a little bit of that like iPhone digital camera type look. And it's like cool that you can get everything in exposure. That's what like blew me away was like, I can see the shadows and I can see the sky.
Yeah.
How are they even doing it? And it's a lot of processing. That's how they're doing it. And sometimes it's really obvious because of the way that it like subjects look kind of cut out.
Yeah.
But it's only in those like really high dynamic range scenes. If you don't want to deal with it, shoot an iLog.
Yeah.
And like it just
that makes sense. It wouldn't do it there.
You get like a normal Rec 709 style image. You convert into a normal Rec 709 style image.
Yeah. And that looks really good. If you apply even just like the standard light, looks good.
And I didn't realize until like way later in my testing, or else I'd been shooting like this the whole time, is that when you put it in iLog and then you go into the filters, you can apply cine versions of the filters that are basically LUTs on top of the iLog that are baked in.
So when you do that, you're only getting a single video file.
Yes.
And so you don't have the raw iLog footage. You just get it with the filter.
Correct.
But you get the benefits of shooting an iLog in terms of the increased dynamic range and like maybe less processing.
Less of the HDR-ish processing.
That's how I'd use it all the time then.
Like the Leica natural, like, because I don't like, if I was going to edit, I'm going to shoot an iLog, but for this camera, I'm like, I'm not really going to do a lot of editing, so I just didn't put it in iLog because I didn't want to mess with it, and I just wanted the video off the camera.
Right.
But now that I know, like, I can pick from, there's not like a normal video, but there's like all the filters. And in my opinion, they look better. Like if I compare the standard video filters and then the cine version, I like the cine version better because it is not like doing that HDR processing.
Yeah, I think I would set mine that way too. That just makes more sense.
It's 100% the way to use it, in my opinion, is put it in iLog, get the 10-bit video, and apply the cine filter of what you want the look to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And just shoot like that. And then if you know you're going to edit in post, then just switch it to a normal iLog.
Right. When you do that, I assume the preview on the screen also shows you the filter too.
It does. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
I wish that it was like, it was actually doing it in iLog and just applying a look, and then you could bring it into the app. And
I would love to have the choice. Yeah,
change the filter in the app, like, but that's just not an option.
Yeah.
To me, that would be like a better implementation. Is copy it over and then you could change it to whatever you want.
Yeah, agreed.
Whatever. So let's see. Whenever we shot in iLog, it seemed like there was maybe like a few stops of latitude, maybe like 2 or 3 stops of latitude, which is like decent enough. It's maybe not as good as like, I don't know, S-Log 3 or something, but it was like good enough to work with. Like you could probably match this to mini a camera. I thought the 4K image quality was really solid. I thought the 8K was good, but it's limiting.
Why is it limiting?
Because you can only shoot on the 20 millimeter in 8K.
And it's only like up to 30 frames per second.
Or maybe it's like the 20 and the 3X or something. It's you only get so many options.
Yeah.
I think shooting 4K and that you're going to get most of what you need out of this thing.
The 8K does feel more like a marketing bullet point than like something most people would want.
It gives you some cool reframing options. Like if you want to do 8K and then be able to do some stuff in post, it's nice to have it. But 4K 120 is surprisingly good. Like, didn't seem like the image quality dropped at all doing 4K versus 24.
Usually like falls apart because of the video bitrate.
Yep. And then we already talked about the low light video quality. I think that's like pretty much it. I left it in high quality video mode the whole time. I didn't set it to the lower
real
one.
Downside to it. I mean, overall, really, really impressive look from the camera. It does legitimately, to me, feel like it's worth shooting with it over shooting with my phone, which I kind of wasn't expecting.
Yeah, for sure. We've already talked about, I feel like I wanted to talk about the filters. We already talked about the manual video shooting, so I don't think we need to get into that too much. We've already talked about vertical video. So we definitely should just talk about the filters.
Sure, let's do it.
So did you use any of the filters, Dan?
No, I didn't. Tell me about them.
So when you swipe in from the side, there's
swipe on in there.
Yep, there's a basic and a pro video mode, and then within those you can set the filter. I think you can't set the filter in like 8K or slow-mo or something. Like, you can't change the filter. There's some modes that you can't use the filters.
Okay.
But in like the default video mode, you can.
I guess it's like more processing, so maybe that's why you can't do it in all the modes.
Yeah, and these are like film simulation situations. Now, in my opinion, using the Cine version is the way to go. Put it in iLog, use the Cine version of the filters. Yeah. Okay, so first one is none, which is like the normal look.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, it's just totally fine. The next one is Leica Natural. So if you don't know, this is like a Leica collaboration. It's got a Summicron lens on it, which means that it's f2 or slower.
Except that it's not in this case, right? It's like f1.8.
Well, yeah, it's still Summicron. It's not f1.4. But it also means it's got the juice in it.
The juice.
Yep. But it's all, they didn't put like a black and white, which would have been cool. There's like no black and white modes. Which I'm kind of shocked. There was no black and white modes. Yeah. But you can get Leica Natural, which is kind of like your less punchy, less contrasty. It's a little less saturated in the reds. Like, they're not as punchy in the face as the normal profile. So it's kind of like a nice, decent, low contrast look. It's not bad. It's like, okay. It was maybe my third favorite.
Okay.
There's Leica Vivid, which then basically takes the Leica Natural and boosts the saturation. That one's decent too. Like, if I wanted to
use that if you want to match a Lumix camera.
There you go. If I wanted like a more saturated look, I may pick that over the standard profile. There's Leica Chrome, which is more contrasty, but they like lifted the shadows. So you take like the normal image, you like crunch it up by adding contrast, but then you also make the shadows gray and not black. It was kind of
that's interesting.
The reds are more saturated, but it's like less color, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know if you're familiar with like in Lightroom you can like adjust the luminance.
Yeah.
And it can like wash or unwash out colors. It's like they took the Luma slider in Lightroom and like lowered it.
Oh, interesting.
So like the reds kind of have a little more like deepness to them, and it's like a little contrasty but with lifted shadows. They have positive film. And that one's like super contrasty. It's like really intense. If you ever use the Kodak film simulations, I call them. If you ever use the Kodak LUTs in DaVinci Resolve, where you have to like transform it into like Cine whatever, and then you apply like the LUT, it looks like that. It looks like Kodak in DaVinci Resolve.
A little much maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. Which all like after you get past the Leica ones, all of these have intensity sliders.
Oh, that's cool.
To low, medium, or high. High intensity, like full intensity, is way too much for all of these.
So you want lower intensity.
Medium feels right. Like, in my opinion, across the board, everything past like a Chrome, setting it to medium intensity, it's right about where you want it.
Cool.
There's neg film, which looks kind of like Fuji's nostalgic neg. It's like pushes more into the reds and oranges.
Okay. I like that on the GR. I use the negative film a lot. Yeah. The GR.
There's one called CC film. This is my favorite. I put it in medium intensity in CC film, and like that's pretty much where I left it because it's the one that I like the most. I like it because it pushes the blues a little more teal, and I kind of like my blues to be a little more teal. Yeah. So it's like a little contrasty, but not as bad as like a Chrome, and the blues are like a little teal, and the reds are still the correct red. Yeah. Right. They're not like too deeply saturated.
Not like all orangey or weird.
Yeah. Some of these, like the neg film, not the naked film, the NC film profile, which is the next one, the reds look orange.
Oh, weird.
Or maybe I'm mixing that up. Maybe that might be like the fresh one where the reds look orange. So like CC film, the reds are the right color, the blues look teal. It's nice and contrasty. 10 out of 10. Not really. It's more like a 7 out of 10. These are all good, but they're not like Fujifilm simulations. So CC film, NC film, like a little warmer kind of thing, pushes more to the reds. There's cinematic, which is, I guess, trying to get you that, flat profile look. Yeah. It's not bad. It does look a little cinematic. It pushes it into the green. So they're like trying to simulate something like Eterna.
Yeah, like Fuji style.
Yeah. It's like a little more green, a little more flat. And then they have one called Fresh. Which the reds are still reds, but it looks like they took the mids and just like boosted the mids.
Oh, okay.
And so all of your like mid-tones are a little brighter. So it kind of to make it look a little fresher, I guess. I don't know. And then there's iLog.
Yeah.
So that's all of them.
So overall, you're kind of feeling like the filters are all like pretty good and, kind of color the image in a nice way without being too like ridiculous.
It gives you, in my opinion, it's too many options. So there's like way too many things.
Quite a few options.
It's way too many things to pick from, especially since you can set intensity on a lot of them. And all of them have a cine variant in iLog.
Yeah.
It's just like way too much.
That is a lot.
But it also means you can dial in to get the exact look that or close to the look that you might want.
True.
I used CC film the most. I used standard, like no filter, the second most. And I used Leica Natural the fourth. And then maybe cinematic the fifth.
Okay.
And then I kind of didn't mess too much with the other ones until I found the iLog Cine version. And I was like, shoot, dog, why am I not shooting this all the time?
Yeah. I think I'm going to change mine to that.
I've already changed yours.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go then.
So just, those are all the filters.
And I think they have some system where you can create your own looks and you can share them with people.
Really?
There's some kind of thing where you can make a look and then you can like generate a QR code that you can like share with somebody else and they can load it on theirs. I don't know exactly how that works.
That's total news to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be sharing some looks with you.
Yep.
You just hang on.
Yep. So cool that they have that flexibility in there.
Boy, have we touched on everything? We didn't even say the words AAA eye check.
No, we didn't. We probably should mention the accessories a little bit because we've kind of got to play with a few of those things.
But before we dive into those, I just want to make sure like we covered everything that we wanted to on the camera.
We covered quite a bit.
Was there? All right.
Nothing's coming to mind. I mean, like I think we've talked about the image quality like in quite a bit of detail. I did offload video from it to my phone using USB-C, like not to do it in the app. That was all like easy and worked well. But I don't know. I mean, everything else about it's like, I think we've covered most of it.
Yeah. I had multiple, like 2 or 3 instances where the iPad just couldn't connect to the camera.
Interesting.
The phone, 0 problems. I never had a situation where I opened up the Insta360 app to connect to the camera and it didn't connect. It was like 100% with the phone.
The Luna has a little NFC chip on it, and if you hold your phone up to the front of it, like where the screen is, it will pop up a thing on your phone to launch the app, which is kind of cool.
That's neat. That's super neat. Okay, accessories. I think there's probably more here than what I have listed. We talked about the tripod grip thing, the tripod stand thing.
Yes.
Which moves the USB port to the back so you can like even plug it in.
And has a quarter 20.
And has a quarter 20 on the bottom, which I've already used to like mount to a GorillaPod, which makes it super easy because you don't have to level the GorillaPod.
Yes.
The camera just levels itself.
Yes. Good point.
Pretty neat. It has a battery extender.
Yep.
There's the default case that it comes with.
Do you want to just kind of describe how that works?
Yeah. So it is like you set the camera in it, and then it has a piece that closes over maybe 50% of the camera, but most of the lens, and it keeps
basically
the whole
protects
lens.
the gimbal.
Yeah, it protects the gimbal. It works pretty good. It's bulky.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard to put in your pocket.
Yeah.
And that was my immediate complaint when I saw that whenever you got yours, I was like, this thing makes it huge. Like, I wish there was an easier way to transport it. Well, they make the slide case.
Yes, they do.
And that is an experience putting on. Because you have to
thought it was easy. I don't know what you're talking about.
You gotta like take off the windshield, and then you gotta like set it into the bespoke thing, and then
I thought it was easy.
What were your thoughts on using the slide case?
So the concept of the slide case is that when you're not using it, it locks upward in a position that kind of protects the gimbal, and then when you want to use it, you can just slide it downward, and then it turns the camera on.
Yeah, you can have it turn the camera on and start recording when you slide it down.
All really cool.
Great feature.
I don't like that it doesn't protect the screen. That's a little bit of a downside. I would want to put a screen protector on there. But the biggest problem is that while it does lock in the up position, it doesn't lock in the down position. And your natural inclination when you hold this thing is to kind of use like the little raised part of the case as kind of like a hand, like a finger rest. And as soon as you do that, it starts sliding because it doesn't lock down. It just feels like they were so close to making that a really cool accessory, but the fact that it doesn't lock in the open position, like to me, kind of ruins the usability of that.
I tried it for 5 minutes and then immediately just took it off. Yeah. And I was like, Daniel, you should play with this.
Yeah, you're like, why don't you take the accessories? I don't want. So it's a little disappointing. I was hoping that would be better than it was, but like the fact that it doesn't lock open is kind of a problem.
Yeah, kind of a problem. There is there's the slide, there's the strap.
Yes.
Daniel, that's
a body lanyard situation.
I wish I was cool enough to wear the lanyard. It's decent. It's like a nice rope. It has two like little orange balls with, string attachments where one will attach to the camera and one will attach to the case. The one that attaches to the camera is short and you can use it as a wrist strap.
Oh, that's
and so
cool.
You can have it as a wrist strap and then you can like carabiner it back onto the main strap. And then there's one that clips onto the case. So if you like take the camera out, you have a wrist strap, the case is still on the main lanyard, you pop it back in the case and like clip the thing back together. And it kind of all works pretty well.
That's cool.
And the adjusters are decent. And you can just kind of like wear this thing like I guess like this is popular, right? Like people use it or put their iPhones on like little lanyards. You just do it with your Insta360. I look like a complete idiot whenever I'm wearing it, but I also can't stop using it because it's super fun.
Yep. Yeah, you can't quite pull off the look, but it's usable.
If I was maybe, I don't know, younger.
If you're 15 years younger or female.
I was a woman.
Yes. I think either of those would work.
Yep. Both of those would work great.
Yep.
Anyways, very cool. They have like a little carry bag for it. We didn't get to mess with that one too much.
Get that. Like, I mean, it'd be nice to have something to hold all the accessories, but doesn't feel like a big loss because I think if I'm going to take it with me, I'd probably rather use the hard case anyway. So
they make a neck mount, which is like a necklace that you can wear where it mounts it on your chest.
Like holds it upright on your chest.
And there's a picture on the website of somebody wearing it that looks like The Sound of Music where they're frolicking through the hills and they have an Insta360 Luna Ultra just on their chest.
Yep. Well, because that pairs really well with the POV thing, right?
Yep.
They make a POV head tracker.
They do.
It's like a little thing that you clip on like your ear, like as if it's like a little earphone.
Looks like an old school Bluetooth headset.
But what it does is when you turn your head, the gimbal turns like the same way. So you could get some moving camera shots that kind of mimic what you're doing with your head.
Look.
Unique idea.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like really want to neck strap with head track.
Yes.
And do some POV stuff.
Yes.
Would be really, really, really neat. On me, it would be like a normal height of a person whenever it's around my neck.
Yes.
Also, like those things just exist.
Yeah. It's clever.
It sure is. We've already talked about the filters, talked about the black mist. There's a wide angle expander that gives you 108.
Might be useful if you want to vlog.
Could be. Gives you 108 degree field of view. I didn't have a problem with it at 20 millimeters.
Yeah, because your arms are really long.
Maybe because this camera's just built for me. But if you need more, if you need like whatever 10 to 16, I guess it'd probably be like 12, right? 108.
Yeah. In the same category as vlogging, they also have a little fill light that clips onto the top of the gimbal. It has a separate power and everything. It's a separate little rechargeable battery. We didn't really mess with that, but like, that's an accessory if you want to do vlogging in low light.
I would be curious to try that out and see how well it works.
Yeah.
But that's all the accessories, right? I think we covered everything.
I think so. The camera comes in white and black.
Yeah. And I think that the way to, like, my original thought was the way to go was to get the white slide case and the black balloon, because then you got like a panda situation going on. But I just would skip the slide case completely.
Yeah. I really went back and forth about what color to get, but the reason that I went with the black is because I thought if I'm ever filming in public, I want to kind of be unobtrusive, and I think that the black blends in a little more.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. but it's nice to have options. More white cameras, please.
Yes. So
So
I like having the options.
Definitely follow your heart and get the white one, I suppose, is what I feel. But otherwise, like, super, super solid.
Yeah. I was impressed. Kind of said at the beginning, like what I was hoping to get out of it. I feel like it lived up to that, but then it kind of had this whole extra angle to it that I wasn't expecting, of like actually being able to do kind of like pro type stuff with it if you want to. Like, it does feel like we could use this as like a C camera, or something in some of our work, which is really cool. And I do feel like it's better enough than my phone that it motivates me to take it with me if I want to film video, which I kind of wasn't expecting.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a lot of what I like about my Pocket 2 and just cranks it up.
Yeah. It seems like the only downside is the size.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, unless I'm sticking it in my pocket, it's going to go anywhere else. I've been keeping this pretty much just in my bag all the time. Yeah. Really enjoyed using it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to keep shooting with it, which is why I have to figure out my whole video situation.
Yes. One question for you. So like, this is coming into like a crowded space where like you've also got GoPros. You could get like an Insta360 360 camera, or something like this, or something like a Ricoh GR, or you could use your phone. Like, there's just like so many cameras in this space. What do you think? Like what makes you want this over those other options? Or maybe conversely, like where do you think it would fall short compared to some of that other stuff?
I mean, it's just like a totally different trade-off. If you need something that's durable, like or waterproof, you go with something that's like a
GoPro or whatever.
Yeah, what's the Insta360 one? Like Ace
Pro.
Yeah, an Ace
maybe.
Pro or like a GoPro or whatever. Like,
that's kind of my biggest concern with this is just that because it has a gimbal, it feels solid. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's fragile, but like compared to a GoPro, it's not going to be as durable. And so, if you're giving this to like a kid to run around with, or obviously if you're using it around water, this isn't waterproof. There's just some situations where this wouldn't be the right choice because I just don't think it's as durable as something like a GoPro.
They didn't ship it with a bike mount.
Yeah.
Am I going to mount it on my bike later?
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. They didn't ship it with a bike mount. And probably for good reason, right? That's not what it's intended for. That's what their action cam lines are for. So there's that. We're like, okay, maybe it doesn't meet that portion of the market. There's like the stuff that you might shoot with your phone, but this is going to provide much more stable footage and has like more video features than you might expect out of a phone because it's got room for bigger sensor, room for more zoom capability and this sort of thing. So I do think that it offers a different value proposition than your phone because one, it's like not a phone, and two, is just you're going to get to be able to shoot different things. And I think that where this kind of lands in is like it covers a lot of, if you just want to shoot video, but you don't want to have to deal with a lot of the things that come with shooting video, like interchangeable lenses or dealing with stabilization, like you want easy mic solutions. It's like it makes a lot of the cool things you can get out of higher end video way more attainable for like a lower price. And so I think it's
lower price and just like easier too. Like you can just pull this thing out and power it up and get going. Whereas like if you're setting up like a whole mirrorless camera on a gimbal, like that's a big undertaking.
And I would say like the image quality gets you 70% there. Yeah. Right. With way less effort. And so it's the kind of thing where like it's not a phone and it's seeking a different market than like action cameras. Yeah. But it's like anything in that, hey, I just need something that shoots video. My budget is $1,000. What should I do? And like, you don't want to get into like interchangeable lens cameras. Like this, I think that's where this sits in the market.
I think so too. Really impressed.
Did you have any features that you wanted to see that weren't there?
I honestly, the biggest thing that comes to mind for me is some kind of like pro video mode that exposes the manual settings like in an easier to use way.
Yeah, that was definitely on my list.
I would like to see some sort of like video output from it.
That was the other thing that was on my list. It would be really cool, and I get like why probably not there, if you could do some sort of video output over USB-C.
Yeah. Because then, if you wanted to do like a live streaming thing, this would be such a perfect live streaming camera.
It would be really, really cool if you could USB-C out and do like live streaming to a computer.
Yeah.
It'd be super neat.
Because I actually have an Insta360 webcam. I have their like link to whatever. And so like my webcam is an Insta360 gimbal. So actually they have made gimbal cameras.
Oh, there
before.
You
go. And it's great. But I think about something like this and I think, man, this would be perfect for like all the people that want to stream live on Instagram or whatever platform. This would be a perfect camera for it. It's just missing that one feature.
And like maybe these are things that come later. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's probably like a hardware thing.
It probably
is.
Yeah.
Maybe future versions kind of situation, or maybe they never do it. That would have been a neat feature.
Yeah.
So overall,
you think the price is about right?
Yeah, $770.
Yeah, I mean it's high. It's not cheap.
It's definitely not cheap. I mean, I think I just need a camera it's got to be like under $400 kind of situation.
Yeah.
But they're clearly pushing up market for this thing with all of the features and like the Pro this and the Ultra that situation.
Yeah.
I think it justifies it. Like the number of things that this can do justify the price.
It's just a question of whether you need all those things.
Right. Yeah. It gets into that weird situation of you're isolating out some people who might want this because it is so expensive.
Yeah. This would be a good, I think they do have a good opportunity to come out with a Luna non-Ultra, Yeah,
definitely. There's quite a bit of trade-off. But like I said, I mean, if you wanted to run a YouTube channel, you can just do it on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, grab a microphone, $1,000 and like, great.
You really could. Like when I think back to all the stuff I did with YouTube, I could have just used something like this.
Yeah.
It honestly would have been great.
Would have been super great. It's really like you just deploy it really easy, does all the tracking. Like it's super good for that kind of thing or any sort of like social or influencer type stuff. And I think that's where this thing's going to shine.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like, I need good quality and I need a dedicated camera because I need my phone for phone things, but I don't want to deal with mirrorless cameras. Like, this is a great option.
Absolutely.
It's maybe a hard sell for someone who just wants a vacation camera because it is pricey for that.
Yeah.
But I do think that if you need all of the features that it includes, like the zooming and like the detachable monitor and all the micro supports and log and blah, 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 then it's like, the price is in line with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cool. Boy, did that qualify as a super episode, Daniel?
I think you might even call it an ultra episode.
Come on.
That's it for the show today. Thanks for joining us. And if you liked it, tell a friend so they can check it out too. You can find out more about the show at www.cameragearpodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter @CameraGearPod. We'll be back with more next week.